السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. We have talked last time about some of the reasons why the chaos that happened in the fiqh, and how some of the bid'ah started, and what was the impact of splitting fiqh al-ibadat and fiqh al-muamalat, and how the effect of the translation of the Greek books in the Umayyad time on the Abbasi time, actually on the thoughts of the Muslims, and created Mu'tazila, and then from Mu'tazila got the Ash'ara, and then from the Ash'ara get the Maturidiyya, and where the Ahl Sunnah stood in all this fiasco that happened all over the years, and how the big imams of Madhab Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, and the Bukhari, and all these big names, and the big names in Hadith, and Abi Dawood, and the big names of Hadith, Al-Hafiz al-Lalikai. Those people actually stood fast against this wave, and when we talk about Mu'tazila later, we will talk about how the rise of the Mu'tazila as a political entity and become a state, and then the decline. It was fast. It was like 12 years. But we will talk about that later. And it was the only time they had the influence on the state. Actually, during the Abbasis, al-Ma'mun, al-Mu'tasim, wal-Wathiq, the three Khalifas, and then the Mu'tazila were the controllers of the whole empire. And then Mutawakkil came, and he shredded them apart, and he restored Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah and set Ahmad bin Hanbal free. Now, having said that, we are going to start to talk about the divisions, the divisions that were made to study Tawheed. Like I said before, we have to emphasize this, that Tawheed is not parts. Tawheed came in Quran as one thing, Rububiyyatullah with Uluhiyyatullah all together in ayahs. Sometimes you talk about Rububiyyah and you mean some sides of Uluhiyyah. Sometimes the word Ilah and Uluhiyyah comes with to cover the means of Rububiyyah, of Al-Khalq wal-Rizq wal-Taqdeer. But all in all, when they connected it to the Arabic base and the language and how Arabs used to perceive things, they came up with this kind of division just to study, no more than that, just to study. So when we talk about Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, we talk about Ar-Rabb, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we talk about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first thing that comes to mind that the ayat of existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, adillat wujudillah, dalail wujudillah, in order to understand the huge and the substantial significant differences between how those people who claim that they are the intellectual fraction of Islam, Mu'tazila, talk, and Ahl al-Kalam after them. And we talked about Ahl al-Kalam before, how it started and everything. And why they call it kalam? Because it's just talk. You talk. There's no reaction. And how it moved from ilm al-kalam to ilm al-tawheed, because it talks about the existence of Allah and His attributes. So it became Tawheed, and hence they went back and said, then this is only Tawheed is only that, not that is Tawheed. No, Tawheed is only that. So they put it upside down. So Tawheed, instead of Tawheed, is the general, and this part is the specific. This ilm al-kalam becomes the general, and Tawheed become specific, become equivalent or the same thing. So that's what happens. So in order to understand what this dalil and how we differentiate or understand the significance, in my book al-Mu'tazila, actually I had many examples, and I discussed the two approaches Mu'tazila and Ash'ara and Ilm al-Kalam, and the approach of Ahl Sunnah. And I'll just give you guys here a couple of examples to understand. In the argument of the proof of existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ahl al-Kalam talks about the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They say we have they have two main proofs. The first one is the proof of origination. It's called the proof Dalil al-Huduth. Hadatha means to originate, to happen, to become after it's coming. And what does this means? This proof in Ilm al-Kalam entail? They say that the everything in universe is like capable of not or can be divided to two, and then the 2 to 4, and the 4 to 8, and it can be kept dividing and dividing and dividing and until the atom itself. And then they didn't know anything other than the atom, because the atom, the name atom, it was at the time of Rasul and the time of these people. So and they said, when you go and divide everything, in this universe, like the body of the human, and then you keep dividing it until the smallest, dividing it, the smallest that doesn't have any probability to be of division after that. And for the tables, they didn't actually know that all of them are the same, us and the tables and everything, but they said everything can be divided to this infinite particles, and they call this infinite particles, they call it al-jawahir, like the jewels of the thing, al-jawahir. Al-jawhar is the least thing that actually can the bodies can be divided to. So they said that if we can see that these bodies, although they are together, but what happens? The body moves. They are subject to they call it the atomic essence, the atomic essence, the jawhar. So they said So this atomic essence is subjected to movement, is subjected to heat. We see it moving because we move, right? And we are connected. What are we made of? We made of these atomic segments or essence put together. So these jawahir can be subjected to this kind of changes, right? So, and these changes always are connected to these atomic essences all the time. They cannot be separated because you don't find this segment on its own. It's either moving or heated or doing something. So they said that means that they call it al-a'rad. Al-a'rad means that accidents, the accident, al-a'rad. They're all transient. They're all transient. So these accidents that are connected to the jawahir, that are connected to the atomic segments, atomic essence, they are inseparable. They are always together. So it means that these jawahir are not forever. They are, because they are with the a'rad, so they are going to be they can go fana, they can go waste at the end of the day. They are not lasting, they are not without an end. Why? Because they are connected to things that are a'rad, that are accidents. So this means that all this world is made of things that, because what the world made of? Jawahir and a'rad. The world is made of jawahir, which are the atomic essence, and the a'rad, which is the accidents that are attached to this atomic essence, and they are inseparable. So it means that this world is not infinite. But not infinite, it's without end. What is infinite?
Infinite means unending.
Unending. Yeah. So this means that the world is finite. The world is coming to an end because the components of the world, the jawahir and a'rad, are inseparable and they are finite. So the world, everything in this universe is finite, which means that there has to be a creator that it brought that world to existence. So this is what they call the proof of origination, right? The second proof they use in Ilm al-Kalam, they call it the proof of contingency and necessity. دليل الممكن والواجب. الممكن والواجب. What they say if we look at this world, we see that it happened in a certain way. Like when you throw something, it goes down. When you go close to the heat, you feel hot. All these ways, all people have two hands, and every hand has 5 fingers. And we have this nose, and we have these 2 eyes. Animals don't have brains, humans have brains. All these existence and things that is happening in the world is created in a certain way. And it is possible that it could have been in another way. because you could have find a world where the apple goes up, your nose in the back of your head, and you walk on your hands, and when you put something on fire, the fire doesn't go up, no, it goes down, and everything. So this means that there is something that chose from all these things, that it is created of this specific possible to be, and this one is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's in terms of their proof that Allah exists. And also they say that because it is made this way, it is contingent. It's contingent. So it had to be in some way. So this means that there is something that made it to happen this way. It's contingent on this on that creator. In the second thing, the second example is their proof of the Day of Judgment, which is it's funnier. Their proof of that there is a Yawm Akhir is that if we put the argument that there is a Day of Judgment and people will come out and they will be judged, who would say no? It is possible that it happens. And because it's possible, you can't argue that it's not going to happen. So it is going to happen, the Day of Judgment. Of course, Ibn Taymiyyah whipped them badly on this. He said, the world is full of possibilities, but out of these possibilities, there are only few things that actually happen. So what are you talking about? It's meaningless. Why the Day of Judgment can't be one of the possibilities that didn't happen, or it's not going to happen? Somebody can argue, but it is a possible that is one of the possibilities that it's not going to happen, because there are many of them that can happen. So this tells you actually how they approach, how to use the brain without going back to Quran at all, right? They use their brain and their imagination and this kind of arguments that is even like Ibn Taymiyyah and said it is even more naive than philosophy, because this is not philosophy, this is ilm al-kalam. Philosophy is actually the proofs in philosophy is deeper and more extensive. These kind of proofs is proofs of ilm al-kalam. That's what philosophers, they called the ulama al-kalam like the muhannathin of philosophy. What is this? They say, what is it? What are you talking about? Right? So it is not a way to use the brain and show that Islam can be proven through al-aql, and all that in order to support their argument that people are going to be judged even if they don't have the risala, or we talked about al-fitra and al-aql and al-dalil al-shara. So they said al-aql, if you have al-aql, khalas, دليل عندك. You can understand these things. So anyways, so our Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the proof of existence of Allah is completely different approach. Completely different approach. There are few things that we are going to go over. The first one is دليل الفطرة, right? دليل الفطرة. دليل الفطرة. Look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dealt with this. في الحديث كل مولود يولد على الفطرة. حديث متفق عليه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said قالت رسلهم أفي الله شك فاطر السماوات والأرض. There is no ممكن or possible or not possible. Can you imagine that you have a doubt of the Creator who put all? You can see it. Look, just look. So Quran asks you to just look to what is there, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the one who created you from dust, like in the ayah. ثم خلقنا النطفة هو الذي خلقكم من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم من علقة ثم يخرجكم طفلا ثم لتبلغوا أشدكم. He gives you what you see. Look at this. How can this happen without the creation of Allah? He's the one who created you from dust, then from a sperm drop, then from a cleansing cloth, then he brings you forth as a child, then He develops you so that you reach your maturity, then He allows you to become elderly, and among you are those who are taken in death before this, so that you may reach an appointed term, and so that you may understand. لِتَبْلُغُوا أَجَلًا مُسَمًّا وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. Maybe you will understand. Look at these things. See how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reached to the proof that He exists? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَالِقُ الْحَبِّ وَالنَّوَى. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala proves His rububiyyah. Not through دليل الحدوث and دليل الممكن والواجب. And no. إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَالِقُ الْحَبِّ وَالنَّوَى يخرج الحي من الميت ومخرج الميت من الحي. You see الميت يخرج من الحي والحي يخرج من الميت. الحي يخرج ميت. You see the sperm that doesn't have anything goes. The plant, the soil that is completely dead. The rain comes, حياة comes, أخضر, all, and you eat. إن الله فالق الحب والنوى. Indeed, Allah is the cleaver of the grain and the dead seed. He brings the living out of the dead, and brings the dead out of the living. That is Allah. See, that is a proof. Look at this. How are you deluded? That is Allah. فَأَنَّ تُؤْفَكُونَ. See, the approach of Quran and of Rububiyyah is completely different. Completely. Allah لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ونوم. He gives His own attributes. Doesn't sleep. سنة, nap or sleep. لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر. سبحان الله عما يشركون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, هو الذي خلق السماوات والأرض في 6 أيام ثم استوى على العرش. He gives you the fact that He created earth and heaven in 6 days. Then He established Himself on al-Arsh. Then He sat on al-Arsh. He sat on al-Arsh. Of course, sat in the way He sat. We have no idea how, but يعلم ما يلج في الأرض وما يخرج منها. He knows everything. See, this gives you al-Alim. See how Allah subhanahu, the proof of rububiyyah is connected. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يَعْلَمُ مَا يَلْجُ فِي الْأَرْضِ, you remember the name of Allah al-Alim, because يَعْلَم كل شيء. He knows everything. وَمَا يَخْرُجُ مِنْهَا وَمَا يَنزِلُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ وَمَا يَعْرُجُ فِيهَا وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ. See, وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ. He is with you. It resembles Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Because He's with you. He's supporting you. He's with you. He gives you food. The entity, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He gives you the food to eat, the water to drink, He's with you. That's one of the meaning of He's with you. He provides you with food. He provides you with water. He provides you with all. وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. شوف وهو معكم أينما كنتم والله بما تعملون بصير. That's why the ulama said وهو معكم أينما كنتم. لما سئل أحمد قال بعلمه. هو معكم بعلمه. He knows what you are doing. بعلمه. The Sufiya said هو معكم. He himself is with you. So that's why they came up with the theory of that Allah is within us, that we are Allah, and He is us, and universe is Allah. This kufr shirk of Muhyiddin ibn Arabi and stuff. So Allah is with us, with His ilm, with His rizq, with His all His names is with us somehow. Al-Razzaq is with us, Al-Rahim is with us. He is the one who prevents us from having, the death all the time, going out. When you go out, how many times you can actually die? Many times. But you don't. إلى أجل مسمى, to a certain appointment. You are left to a certain appointment. So Allah al-Hafiz, عليكم حفظة. Allah has حفظة. People يحفظونه من أمر الله. You know the ayah? يحفظونه من أمر الله. يحفظونه من أمر الله means protect you from أمر الله, means all these incidents that can take you out. Allah puts angels with everybody in order to protect us from أوامر الله. أمر الله إنه this سيارة come here. أمر الله this thing come here. أمر الله يحفظه من هذا until your time. Then it doesn't work at this point, and you're gone. So this is how the approach of rububiyyah, right? The approach of rububiyyah is completely different than what's in this argument. When we talk about the evidence of fitra, which is natural disposition, this natural position actually that makes a person, like we said, turns to Allah in the time of need. All the time, everybody, including kuffar, when something happens, they go like this, like that. They don't go like this to the side, or they don't go look in the mirror, or they don't look down. They go like this. Oh, why? Even kids, it is something built into the DNA of humans, like language built into. Hamza talks to me and teach me language all the time. How it is built into the brain, the format of the brain. This is built into the format of the brain, that Allah is there. He's there. It's fitra, and this big existence of the Creator is out there, and we cannot deny it. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أَفِي اللَّهِ شَكْ. Is there doubt about Allah, Creator of heavens and earth? There's no shak, there is no doubt. It's fitra. It's built into you. So That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said this ayah, this ayah, وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ من بني آدم من ظهورهم ذريتهم وأشهدهم على أنفسهم ألست بربكم? Am I not your Lord? He took all of us out from the back of Adam, every single creature. He took us all. How? We don't know. When? We don't know. But we know that it happened, and this is the reason why the fitra is built into our DNA. Because the fitra is the remnants of remembrance of this incident that doesn't go away in every single human being that will be born forever. وإذ أخذ ربك من بني آدم من ظهورهم ذريتهم وأشهدهم على أنفسهم. They made them testifying themselves. ألست بربكم? Am I not your Lord? قالوا بلى شهدنا. We all said yes, we testify. You are our creator, our Rabb. أن تقولوا. أن here means حتى لا تقولوا. أن تقولوا إنا كنا عن هذا غافلين. We were actually deluded from this fact. أو تقولوا إنما أشرك آباؤنا من قبل. Or you say, oh, because we're parents, they brought us on this kufr and shirk and stuff. وَكُنَّا ذُرِّيَّةً مِّن بَعْدِ. And we came after them and we follow what they said. وَكُنَّا ذُرِّيَّةً أَفَتُهْلِكُنَا بِمَا فَعَلَ الْمُبْطِلُونَ. You're going to take us with the sin of our parents. It's not acceptable. Because you testified, you personally testified in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أَن تَقُولُوا. And this is why this ayah cuts the عذر بالجهل and cuts the عذر بالتقليد. Both gone. No عذر بالجهل. أن تقولوا إنا كنا عن هذا غافلين. We didn't know. There is no عذر بالجهل. أو تقولوا إنما أشرك آباؤنا من قبل. So there is no عذر بالتقليد. تقليد means to follow the ancestors, following the ancestors. So see, this is the fitrah. This is how the fitrah, this is dalil al-fitrah. How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala approached dalil al-fitrah in our existence. The second dalil is dalil al-ayat al-kawni, the evidence of cosmic signs. The evidence of cosmic signs, the dalil of al-ayat, ayat al-kawn. هناك دليل الخلق, creation. هناك دليل التسوية والتقدير, proportioning and measuring, proportioning and measuring, التسوية والتقدير. هناك دليل الهداية, guidance. So if we talk about دليل الخلق, من أدلة الكون, دليل الخلق, قل سيروا في الأرض فانظروا كيف بدأ الخلق. Walk around, say travel through earth and observe how he began creation. See, and he says in Surah At-Tur, or were they created by nothing, or were they are the creators, or did they create the heavens and the earth? Rather, they are not they are not creation. They weren't created. So أم خلقوا السماوات والأرض. So أم خلقوا من غير شيء أم هم الخالقون. أم خلقوا السماوات والأرض بل لا يوقنون. Right? Surah Al-Tur. بل لا يوقنون. So this is دليل الخلق. So دليل الخلق, I want you to always remember what they said in the علم الكلام. I have many examples in my book and in all the books about material. It's so funny, it's so distorted, and you cannot imagine how this can be for the normal person to understand creation. But this is so simple. قل سيروا في الأرض فانظروا كيف بدأ الخلق. Easy, simple, and it talks to the human being direct. There is no study and I have to imagine this and no. It talks directly to you. أم خلقوا من غير شيء أم هم الخالقون. Look at the question. أم خلقوا السماوات والأرض, or maybe you created السماء والأرض. No. So the second is the proportioning and measuring, التسوية والتقدير, which means and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created everything proportionate, in the right proportion and in the right measure, right? So when he created how we breathe, he did the nose, the two openings of the nose, nostrils, and then how they go inside with proportion. He put the second way of, because it's very important to breathe. Look at the mouth, and the mouth you can breathe through nose, and both go together and go to the same place inside for the blood to do this. It's proportion. He didn't do the nostrils like half of the head. It doesn't mean anything. The eyes in that place, the similarity. Human face is like split. If you draw a line in the middle, here is the exact same as here. It's exact. The التسوية والتقدير. خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم. Right? في أحسن تقويم. Look at how he did the plants when some of the plants made like very high, and maybe there is a reason, maybe because the camels can eat it in the desert, so he doesn't want the camels. So this is people can eat it, so made it high. There is a reason behind everything. التسوية والتقدير سواها الذي أحسن كل شيء خلقه وبدأ خلق الإنسان من طين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت. ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت. The work of Allah who perfected all things. For Surah Al-Naml, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you do not see in the creation of the most merciful ما ترى في خلق الرحمن any inconsistencies. There is no inconsistency. Look at it. It's all consistent. How can all this consistency and made according to the necessity and according to what is needed and the proportioning and measured in this way, very, very, like if look how if anything little piece went from the wood into your finger, look what it does to you, because it just disturbed the system. It can't be. It doesn't belong here. A virus go inside a virus. You can't see it. It disturbs all your system. Boy, that's a system that cannot be disturbed. So how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this system, it can't be, he's saying it can't be created on its own. And that's why the brain, the scientists whose brains say this human body cannot be created with no creator. It can't exist. So as the scientists who look at universe, it can't be made in this way to preserve Earth, because Earth, if it was a little bit compacted, more compacted, we could have been hit by any other planet or this what is it called,
Meteor.
meteors and stuff like that. But it is made to measure. The word is made to measure. So this is the التسوية والتقدير. الهداية, guidance. في الآيات الكونية الهداية. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said الهداية means everything that Allah created, it actually fit for its own purpose. الذي أعطى ربنا الذي أعطى كل شيء خلقه. He created it ثم هدى. See, there is a difference between creating it and hidayah. Hidayah is to guide it to do what is created to do. You see, what is the example of that? The fantastic example. Cut pieces of when somebody gets hit in his nose and he loses part of his nose, what happens? The cells, which is exactly the same cells as in the chest or here or there, it grows to a nose. It doesn't grow to an ear. It grows back to a nose. If it's cut from the ear, it grows back to an ear. If it's cut if they cut parts in the heart, it grows back to to part of the muscle of the heart. That is the guidance. It is guided to do that. It is guided to fit in that place, to serve that purpose. قال ربنا الذي أعطى كل شيء خلقه ثم هدى. شفت? Another example. How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the guidance to animals. When the animal get hit, when he feels عطش, thirsty, what does he do? He runs and search as if he knows for the source of water. And he never stops. The herds, all these herds, come through the desert searching for what? For water. How do they know water? Even from the start. They want the water. They are after the source of water in order to drink. هذه الهداية، هداية للحيوان. هداية الأنيمال, guidance of the animal in order to get. Look at the kingdoms of bees and ants. That's example that cannot be denied. The guidance in the kingdom of bees, unbelievable. The ants is the same. I was just looking a couple of days ago, and I saw two types of ants were walking, getting food. But they are two different types. You know what happened? In the middle of these two lions, a lion that is consistent of one of this type of animal and the other one of this type of animals. And they all stood like this in order to, both of them don't aggress on each other. It's like a defense between both of them. How? you tell me how? Even humans, how the animals got the guidance to create a line from each one of them, one here, one over here, one over there, one over there, in order to prevent those to come here to take this or to come take this. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, الذي أعطى كل شيء خلقه ثم هدى. This is across the universe. Across the universe. Of course, we can see it in the biological creatures more and more, but it is also in the universe, in the big universe. Everything has its own hidayah, some way, you know. So this is the دليل الآيات الكونية. وإن شاء الله next time بإذن الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.